Hello everyone, we are group number 6 and the group members are Kuenzang Lhamo, Kinga Wangmo and myself Sherab Zangmo. We, the group 6, are going to present on consumer preferences and budget constraint. So, what is consumer preferences? Consumer preferences is defined as sets of assumption that focuses on consumer choices that result in different alternatives such as happiness, satisfaction or utility. The entire consumer preferences process in an optimal choice, that is, so consumer preferences allow a consumer to rank different bundle of goods according to level of utility or total satisfaction of consuming a good or services. Each consumer have their own unique preferences of goods, so the economics cannot predict the exact preferences of consumer, but the economics have recognized the similarities in preference shared by almost everyone. So they came up with 3 assumptions. They are number 1, completeness, number 2, transitivity, and number 3, non-satiation. So 1, completeness. We assume that preferences are complete in the sense that a consumer can rank goods according to their preferences. For instance, you are given 2 options, let's say good A as pizza and good B as dumplings. The consumer will prefer good A, which is pizza, over good B, which is dumpling. Or he can rank the other way, good A first and good B dumplings to good A pizza. Number 2, transitivity. It is based on defining a relationship between goods such as if a consumer prefers good A to good B and prefer good B to good C, then the consumer should prefer good A to good C. Number 3, non-satiation. Non-satiation states that more of a good is always better as long as it does not affect the consumer's ability to utilize all other goods. For instance, let's go back to the previous examples of pizza and dumplings. Let's say that you are given 2 slices of pizza and 2 plates of dumplings. So the consumer would obviously opt for option 2, which you get 2 plates of dumplings, but in there you get 10 pieces. So non-satiation basically means you would always prefer option which provides more.
Factors affecting consumer preferences. Consumer preferences can be affected by numerous factors, and those factors can be categorized into 2 categories. The first one can be price, quantity, and income, and others are other socio-demographic variables.
Hello everyone, I will be talking about budget constraint. Budget constraint means the combinations of all goods that someone can afford with a given price when the income is spent. The budget constraint occurs when the consumer is limited in consumption pattern by a certain income. The budget constraint is derived from the fact that the combined spending on beer and pizza cannot exceed the available income. So the budget constraint is then the set of combinations of beer and pizza that yield an overall spend of all of the available income. If all the consumer's income is spent on the beer and none on pizza, the consumer can buy 18/2, which is 9 beers. And this is represented by the point 0.09 on the graph. If all the consumer's income is spent on pizza and none on beer, the consumer can buy 18/3, which is 6 slices of pizza. This diagram shows that how the consumer income was spent on beer and pizza. The marginal rate of transformation is how the market allows consumers to trade one good for another. And its equation is, it is the slope of budget line, and the equation was given down there. Diagram of budget constraint. Since the income is $4,000 and price of good X is $50, the quantity of good X can be calculated as income over price of good. 4,000 over 50, which is 80, thus the consumer will consume 80 X good. Price of good Y is $100, quantity of good Y is 4,000 over 100, which is 40, hence the consumer will consume 40Y Now the budget constraint can be represented as follows. The diagram below shows that the budget line is P1. This shows maximum consumption with current income. To maximize utility, the consumer can choose on IC1, 20 apples, 10 bananas. An increase in income would shift the budget line to the right.